pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone for coming. Looking for approval for the minutes.
So moved. Second.
First and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now the resolutions for the day. We have HS1. If you could, Lee, explain that one. It's just a...
So this is the Giles or Giles, Tiffany? Giles, Kathy Giles. She's a social worker from Oswego Hospital. And again, we're trying to include Oswego Hospital. We're trying to get Galisanos on board. So she's just another strategic addition for the growth of that committee, just to align better with our mission of protecting children and the new direction that the committee is taking. There's been a lot more participation, and I think with changes like this, it's just going to enhance it. So we're looking to have her join us.
We open up, make a motion?
Second.
A second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Moving on, HS2, resolution awarding professional service contract RFP 25YB003 Legend Field Tournament Operation. Brandon's in here today. Tim, you want to speak to it, or?
Sure thing. Sure.
Oh, you don't have one?
No, I was going to say. Yeah, I'd be happy to speak on it. So we have an RFP out that has been reviewed by the review committee. Chairman of this committee and Vice Chair sat on that as well. This is for the ongoing contract to run the tournaments at Legends Fields. Quick reminder to those who may not know that Oswego County owns the 6 baseball field stadium there. And over the last 2 or 3 years has really invested substantial funds. The county invested, the legislature invested $2 million to turf the infield of all 6 fields. And since that time, it has really been able to stabilize the attendance for these tournaments. If you don't know, if you have not stopped into a Oswego County restaurant on a Saturday or Sunday, you probably will see now at least 1 or 2 teams full of teenagers eating in our restaurants, staying in our hotels. So we're averaging somewhere between 14 and 16 tournaments a year up at this field. And it brings in between 16 and 1,700 people from outside our county every single weekend for those tournaments here at Oswego. About 1 out of every 3 of those folks stay in the Oswego hotel room. We've got some data to kind of back that up. So we're also generating bed tax revenue as well as sales tax revenue from those sales here at Oswego. And obviously restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, all of those there. So it's been a really incredible influx of folks into our county. And this company that runs the tournaments had done it for the last 5 or 6 years here in Oswego. And we put that on our RFP just to make sure. I think the legislature asked to make sure, are we getting a fair rate, a fair amount of money for what we're providing them. And so these 2 companies came back in. The review committee reviewed both of the RFPs, and we're recommending to award it to what is the current incumbent, but at a pretty drastically increased revenue price. I believe, and it's a little from memory, correct me if anybody's wrong, but I think it was $25,000. $20,000 to $25,000 a year. And this year, the winning award was going to be $75,000 a year of revenue. And that's not counting, obviously, the other money we get off of percentages of sales tax and bed tax. So I think that the committee as a whole would recommend, and Chairman, I might be speaking for you, but I feel comfortable that we unanimously recommended the current vendor to stay on.
We did, and that was I don't know if anyone looked at the packets, but the other vendor was higher. However, they were only putting in 32,000 fixed funds, and the rest were going to come over time, depending on how well they did for these tournaments. And these folks are already established. Theirs was a flat fee. I think we can work with that much more than we can trying to hope that they hit their mark. So it was it was quite involved, I think, reviewing it. It was it was interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to next year. It'll be great.
I just wanted to say something because I was there at the Legends Field this past weekend because my grandson had a game out there. And I'm not going to say how many years it's been since I was there playing on the field myself. It was a while ago. And I hadn't been back there. So driving up and pulling up and seeing how fabulous it is out there, and I have to say, I was just amazed. I was talking to Tim outside in the hallway because just wonderful. I mean, the turf, my daughter also likes the fact that now when the grandson slides in the home, she doesn't have to worry about getting all those grass stains out, so it's really, really great too. So it was, in my opinion, what a great investment for our cat. It's just beautiful. So I just wanted to say that.
Well, one last thing if I could on that. As a reminder, the legislative room, but also anyone else, Oswego County residents are not charged anything to attend these tournaments. There is a $35, I think, gate charge for anybody who wants to come in who's outside the county.
25 the weekend or 40 for the summer.
Yeah, so, but Oswego County residents are free to attend at any time they would like, and you can come and check this out. And it really is pretty incredible. You'll be shocked if you get a chance to go by there on a Saturday or Sunday that this is in Oswego County. I think it's, again, it's a pretty good testament to what we do here.
All right, sorry, we do have to make a motion though to open it up to the floor.
So moved.
Yeah, second.
Any further discussion? Go ahead.
Yeah, not on the RFP, but it does relate to it. Tim, what kind of challenges are we still having with hotel availability?
It's a great question. So, like I mentioned before, 1 out of every 3 hotel stays is in Oswego County. The other 2 are mostly on Onondaga County, although there are some that stay up in Arsenal Street and Watertown area. So these folks are, and I'll tell you, being a father of a travel baseball player myself, and who is only in Oswego County 1 weekend this month, they will drive a substantial distance, and they spend a substantial amount of money. We do not have enough hotel rooms to put them in here. We have been working with some of our local hotels to make sure that relationship is good. Putting 17 kids in any hotel, there's always a little bit of a stress there, and so I think some of the hotels are a little concerned. But over the last couple of years, they've really started to, I think, be all in on this. And our local Oswego County hotels are interested. But to your question, there's not enough rooms, and so 2 out of every 3 rooms is currently staying somewhere else.
All right, now, you're part of tourism and all that kind of good stuff. What do we need to do through your department, through different committees, creating committee, I don't really give a rat's rear, but we've got to get another motel in this area, a hotel. We just don't have the capacity. Oswego State has problems. The baseball thing, I could tell you my grandson plays on a travel team. He was down in Long Island this weekend. Then they went to go see the Mets play. It's a big thing. And parents will piss and moan and groan about their taxes, but boy, they'll spend every dime they can on their kids. And that's the way it is. So, I mean, I think we're shooting ourselves in the foot by not going out there and pushing to get another place built here.
That might be a good question for us, for folks across the river by the theater or
Operations Oswego County.
without a doubt.
Well, I don't care who does it, something's got to happen.
Right, but
We don't have the capacity, that's the bottom line.
But they should try to spearhead something like that and start looking at that.
Yeah, and I can speak, I sit on the IDA board now. There is conversation in other communities as well as ours about making sure that there are benefits that encourage folks to build new hotels here. That hasn't necessarily been the case historically, and again, you need to align with the state's allowable uses of your benefits. But I can tell you that it is something that is well known. It has come up a number of times in our meetings at the IDA and Operations Oswego County, and I think most folks would agree with you. We would love to have more beds in this community available.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? No opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on. Reporting by department. Okay, the Youth Bureau. Up first.
Yes.
Pick my top 10.
That's
You're in since Brian's on vacation.
I'm on vacation, yeah, so I have the
You
same.
allowed that to happen.
In exchange for mine tomorrow,
Oh, there you go.
going to Cancun.
Nice. Do you want to review these at all, or?
I
You had
can
a
talk a
chance.
little bit. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Kyle. I run Kyle Prez. I run Legends Fields in Camp Zerby. We're rounding out camp here. This is week 6 of 7. Our youth sports program is going extremely well. Our Challenger program, you guys will see in here, has been a big hit. The mentor program. So I know this past Thursday we probably had about 30 little leaguers join us. We had about 20 people in that program, and we had a Oswego PD and a Oswego Fire Department join us as well. Camp Hollis is running smoothly as well, and certainly is going well. Kirby will be happy to hear we're sitting around 35 to 40 a week right now, so our camp has grown in that sense. Hopefully, Tim, if there's anything you'd like to add, I don't know. What check normal talks about.
I have one comment that, my son-in-law is an ultimate Frisbee golfer, so to speak. I don't know how well he does, but he does well. He comes in with a big bag full of discs, and they hit Oswego County's Camp Zerby over the weekend. Not this weekend, last weekend, Harborfest weekend, and they liked it. They said it's a little, you can lose a disc pretty easy, but they said we should put up a suggestion box. Maybe have one up. But one thing they talked about was clearing the holes a little bit, so more people want to play. They said but they said it was good. They enjoyed it.
Thanks.
So you'll be seeing more. Those guys travel all over the place. So, good thing. Anything else?
How much use is that getting right now?
What's that?
The Frisbee part?
I can tell you I fielded quite a few questions and emails regarding the topic and asking if it was public use. We're looking to incorporate more of it into our programming out at Camp Zerby, but currently it's just public use. So people come and go as they please. I can't really speak to how much it's been getting, because I bounce between the two an awful lot, but I know we've had some foot traffic.
All right, because I can tell you one thing, it's popular as a devil, not too far from us. For some of you older people who will remember, where the Griffiths Air Force Base used to be. It's a big industrial park now, apartments. RFA is there, Lone Tree Academy, and on. They have a Frisbee park there, and that place is mobbed.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's something that people will drive to go to those parks. I don't care if it's out in the middle of nowhere land, they'll go to it. So if we gotta do some upgrading and clean it up, whatever it takes to make it more admirable for the people to use it, and so be it, that's what we gotta do.
Yeah, we've discussed tee boxes. I also thought it would be wise to create maps and put them throughout, like trail maps. Because I know myself, even I struggle sometimes to follow the front nine at least. So we're getting creative, thinking of ways to make it more user friendly. But
One thing we've looked at too is potential, when folks come up for one course, they'll often look for others in the area, and it can draw someone to come an area, maybe drive distances if there are multiples. Rice Creek Field Station just is in the process of installing one as well here in Oswego, so working with them is an opportunity, plus the Camp Hollis potential expansion, maybe something else there too. So I think you're right. I think it is very popular. And I'll tell you, when I was up in Erie County, every Erie County park had one.
Yeah, it's getting a little hot. Good to hear. Thank you for that. Okay, next up we have Veteran Services.
All right, my name is Ward Bowen. I'm sitting in today for Eric Boozer. He is on vacation. So what we're going to do is he gave me this booklet to pass out so everybody can look at it. This booklet is just to talk about how to eliminate the guesswork for surviving spouses and family members concerning the veteran's wishes and what benefits the surviving spouses can get. So I'll go ahead and pass that around so everybody can look at that. Also, Eric wanted me to let everybody know that we will be attending the Health and Insurance Tabling event on August 14th at the Cayuga County College in Bolton. And I've been working there for a couple months now, so I probably don't have the answers to the majority of the questions that you may have, but I'm prepared to write those down and take them back to Eric so that way he can get back with you when he gets back tomorrow. And that is all I have.
Welcome aboard and appreciate the update. Anyone have any questions? Okay. Now, Office of the Agent.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm happy to say we have less than 500 farmer market coupon booklets left. We received 1,500. We started distributing them July 15th, and we've gotten over 1,000 of them out, which equates to $25,225 of purchasing power for our elderly at the farmers market for fresh, local fruits and vegetables. So we'll continue to get out in the public to get that last 491 booklets out. We're going to be at the Oswego Farmers Market on Thursday, and then back at the Fulton Farmers Market on Saturday, distributing more. And we've hit all of the senior high-rises, all of the congregate dining sites. Anywhere that we've gone to some of the non-senior buildings, or maybe the supportive housing buildings where maybe some seniors live there as well. If you have any constituents that feel that they've been overlooked, please direct them to us. If we don't have a location, we can always do a delivery to them when we're in that area. But we have our community hours across the county in Sandy Creek and Amboy, Pulaski, Hannibal, Phoenix, Central Square, Fulton. Sure, I'm missing one, but we've been distributing them at those locations as well when we do our community hours, so we have them available for anybody who might be in the area. So if you do know of anybody who feels, again, like they've been overlooked, please have them reach out to our office so we can let them know where we'll be. If they can't get to us, we will figure out a plan to get the booklet to them.
Sarah, on that
Yeah.
note, I will probably announce that at the meeting next week
Okay.
up in Pulaski, so let them know there's still books available.
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrific, thank you.
Yep.
We were notified that we did not receive the Schneemann Foundation grant for our Happy to Chat benches. We are looking for other avenues to try to fund it because we really would like to work with City BOCES, manufacturing students to be able to get those benches out. We haven't closed the book on it. Like I said, we're looking at other ways that it can be funded. It's not a lot of money, and I think we could bring a lot of relief to social isolationism and loneliness for our elderly, bringing them together. We are having our Medicare Insurance and Resource Fair on the 14th at Cuba Community College. So we've been gearing up for that. We have the Advantage plans that'll be there, Oswego Health, Statewide Senior Action Council, the Veterans Office, as well as EPIC, the Medicaid staff at Social Services. So we're hoping to get the resources and insurance companies there to make it a more friendly atmosphere for our elderly so they know who to reach out to, because open enrollment is a very busy time of the year for the Office for the Aging, and we do not have enough staff or any volunteers that can reach the demand of everyone that's seeking assistance to navigate the Medicare Advantage plans during open enrollment. So to try to alleviate some of their stress, try and get them connected to people they feel more comfortable with as a resource there, maybe get some questions answered that they don't need to speak to someone at our office about. Hopefully this will help alleviate some of that. We are also working with Oswego Health. They're going to be going out in the community doing their own Medicare 101s. They're letting us know where they're going to be so that we can have staff there as well to tie in with them in case there's any questions that we can answer when they're out doing their presentations on that. Our senior picnic is 20th at Camp Zerby. We have as of this morning, all of our slots have been taken. So we have started a wait list for anyone. We'll be doing a follow-up phone call to those who've reserved as we get closer to the date to see if they still plan on attending. If they do not, then we will be able to slide people into those open slots. So there's no, anybody who wants to, that we can get to their picnic. We work with mobility manager, the mobility management office, and this year with transportation again, and I've been told we have 44 reservations for transportation to it, so it's a big, huge benefit to our people, because and being in Williamstown, that was some people were in Williamstown, why so far out, but we're able to, working with the mobility management office, get 20 or 44 people rides to the event. Let's see, we'll be sponsoring our first WISE Wellness Initiative for Senior Education starting this Thursday, with the Prevention Coalition and Farm and Family Services coming in to present a 6-week class program, focusing on elderly and examine how alcohol, prescription medications, over-the-counter medications affect us differently as we age. And anyone who attends at least 5 of the classes will get a gift card from them as well, to use at, I think they're at the grocery stores or the pharmacies, so that they can purchase items, I think. And then we did work, Office for the Aging did work with Oswego Health on a joint article that'll be going out regarding Medicare and Advantage plans, and the difference, what an Advantage plan going to the hospital as opposed to a traditional Medicare. So that'll be going out soon. We also continue to perform mini-cog evaluations. We recently sent out a notification over our Blooming Health notification system, and we are performing, we have 2 half days a month where we're doing those examinations in our office, and we're filled up. We've also been asked by the Central New York Regional Trustee Committee for the Health Foundation for Western and Central New York to come in and present regarding the mini-cog evaluations, how it's affecting, or what are some of the insights we have established with this program that we have in Oswego County. So I'll be going and speaking on the 21st to that group. And my final announcement, I received late last week that it was official. I knew it before, but it's official that we will not be receiving the SNAP Ed education funding beyond September 30th. So our Shine SNAP Ed, the program that we've had, where we've done the container gardens as well as the 10 tips workshops, that funding has ended. The state has funding left, and they have asked if it can be rolled forward. And I said, if you can roll that forward and you have that approval, please consider Oswego County to continue to receive that funding at least for the next year. So they said absolutely, if they do receive notification, then they can roll any of that unexpended funding forward, and that we would get some funding for that. And they're saying it'll be $80,000 if that's the case. We normally receive $108,000, so it's a little bit less, but it's still scale back and still be able to perform, the workshops and container gardens. The other thing that I did share probably is brief to a lot of you. This is, I had mentioned at the last meeting, we talked about the home delivered meals program. So I just did a quick, this is what I look at every month to see where we stand, to try to estimate if our numbers are on track for what we budgeted for here for meals. So the first 6 months of 2025, we provided 135,403 meals, which is a combination of both home delivered and congregate meals, which is on average 22,507, which if you took that number times 12 months, would be 270,806 meals. Usually a little bit less than that. but we budgeted for 259,250. So budget-wise for those lines, it's looking like we'd be over for the month of December. But down in the left-hand corner, I've taken money that wasn't earmarked for meals in those meal lines. OFAR, that's down there, that is the Office for the Aging ARPA funding that we received directly, that there's certain lines what we can use that money on, and 2 of them are home delivered meals and congregate. So we took some of that money to put towards the meals program. And also we have unmet need money. Usually that is just for our weekend meals, because that's how we started the weekend meals, was with unmet need funding, because that was an unmet need. But with the increased demand for meals, that's also an unmet need. So to make sure everyone who wants a meal, and we're not telling anybody they have to go on a wait list, we've diverted some of that funding to that program as well. So overall, we'll be numbers-wise over what we budgeted just for the meals line, but we will not be overspent as we're shifting money to this program. What I'll have to do, and I guess I'll talk with Veronica, Phil, maybe at the end of the year, because it will be over the contract maximum for OCO. We aren't looking for any additional funding, like I stated, but we would be over the contract amount when we get to December. So I just wanted to put that, show you where the numbers are lying, and that it will be, we are over I'm anticipating being over in 2025, but no additional county funds. And our population just is aging. If there's a higher demand, there's more people that are demanding it, so the numbers, the requests for meals are going to continue to increase, especially with the economy the way it is as well. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there, that that's something moving forward, and this is over half of our budget. I mean, the nutrition program is over half the Office for the Aging budget. So.
It's also, probably tied into with about the Camp Zerby being filled coming up, and we were worried that it was going to even fill up there. And
Yes.
it did, it's got a waiting list. So
Yeah.
It is a fun day of entertainment and food and bingo and prizes, so there's a lot going on, but yeah, I didn't know Williamstown if it was going to, people were going to want to make that trek there, but they definitely are.
Tell them to bring their frisbees.
So that's one of we were going to put that on there, that there's frisbee golf there, but I didn't know if that was, I wouldn't want to have any, broken hips or anything.
Yeah.
But we will have a self-guided nature walk, so they'll be able to see what is there. I think it's a great opportunity to introduce more people to that park as well. I know a lot of kids are aware of it, but I'd like older people to know that it's a great place to go.
Thank you for that. Okay, next will be Lee, Department of Social Services. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Sarah, I'm
Yes.
looking at these figures. Statistically, are we getting older in this county?
Yes. Yes, it's the fastest rising population across the nation.
And is it because, let me back you just a little different, because that's not going to sound quite right. Our older population, are they apparently economically challenged now? More so?
I don't know if I'd say they're more so economically challenged, it's just there's more people that are of that age, and
What age are you talking?
60 and older. That's who our service population is, age 60 or older. So there's a lot more, and the cost of everything, people who are retired, their retirement benefits don't escalate, so they have a stagnant income. So they're looking to ways to save money, and one of them is, if I don't have to buy a meal, or I don't have to buy food, then I can save money there so that my funds can go towards, something else that I need, putting gas in the car or, paying for my pet food. Because our seniors, they put their pets in front of themselves many times.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
All right, now, is there a screening process for this, or we just get them out?
There is a screening process. So for our home delivered meals program, they basically have to be homebound or can't.
What's that mean?
They aren't in their car out going around. They aren't going grocery shopping. They can't get out and get about. So they might have a health issue that require, they can't get out easily. Maybe a disability where they can't get out easily. Or maybe they can't prepare their own meals. Or they can't go out to shop themselves to buy food to then prepare their own meals. So they have to meet that criteria. If they're working, they aren't a candidate for our program because that means they can get out and go about and purchase their own food. So for that program, for our congregate sites, the only regulation is they have to be 6 years older. So anybody can go to a congregate dining center and receive a meal. There's no income. There's any of our programs except almost all of our programs, there's no income guidelines. There are just suggested contributions to contribute to the program.
Maybe it's just the area I live in. And there's a lot of people my age, a lot of older. They've got money. They do, no, they're not driving Lexuses and all that good stuff. But that's what I can't understand. Were they all up in, Fulton or Williamstown, or I don't know.
They're all across the county. I don't have the statistics where the highest population is, but I would assume that it's going to be Fulton and Oswego because those are the highest populations of elderly. But we have some people that do appear that they have finances, but they might not be able to open up a can or, operate the microwave or, to be able to. Microwave's not good because they have to reheat our meals, but they might not be able to prepare their own food themselves, or they might not be able to get out. Could they use a home delivery service? Very probably much so, but not all of our elderly people have the internet, putting a credit card online to be able to do a home delivery service. So those are all things that we do look at. They might not have any support, somebody else that's going to come in and help them, assist them do any of those things or preparing the food.
It sounds like there's some of the things you're saying, and I'm not saying this is true because I don't know these people, they'll say, or the person. Actually, I don't know anybody that gets one of these bills. But the thing is, and I believe in my world, I keep it as small as I can. They can learn. They can learn. And somebody in there, and let's be honest about it, it's human nature. People are going to take the easy way out.
Right. We've never been an agency, though, to say you have to learn. If they're saying that they can't do it themselves, then we do it. If it comes to the point where we have to do that, we certainly will. We do, during COVID, a lot of people came on meals, and anybody could get a meal if they requested it. There was really we did an assessment, but there was no scrutiny. We are now doing more scrutinizing of people who are saying that they need the meal. Okay, well, why do you need the meal? So we are doing more of that, but it's just the population. There's so many people, and they're saying I can't afford to buy food.
See, I find that hard to believe because most people my age were, at least where I lived, and I know my property line's on Onondaga County, I get it. But we don't have pensions. I know for you young folks here, a lot of you don't, I get it. But we did, our generation.
We get a lot as well of people who've been in the hospital and they get them, used to be temporary, maybe they have it when they first came home from the hospital because they couldn't prepare their own food, but then they end up staying on the meals program as well.
Not to mention, I would imagine that that would play a role in, when I think of the people that I knew that was getting home delivery because they were forgetting to eat, right? And weren't able to get well-balanced meals, right? And so for us to say, hey, we're going to refer you over to the Office of the Aging because your situation has advanced to a place where you're not capable, right? So and I think that's what he's getting at, if they're capable, but how would you, if you had to take a rough guesstimate of the, there's people who have disabilities. I know people with developmental disabilities get the service because they don't know how, or their medical limitations prevent them from standing by a stove to be able to do that. So is that the larger portion of people who receive the meals versus people who are ambulatory and healthy and get around? And
well, the people who are healthy and get around, I mean, those are, they're scrutinized, and many times we told people, sorry, you're not a good candidate for this. Maybe you want to go to a congregate site, and maybe that's the choice that they make. That's what we'll refer them to. I couldn't tell you what percentages are, but many of them are frail or disabled and find a hard time being able to prepare a meal, to stand there and prepare a meal, and they don't have support to be able to help them with that. And it's healthier than some of the meals that they'll have, or somebody's coming and knocking on the door and providing them that meal, which is reminding them that it's time to eat. I can get some statistics together on whom we are serving, what's some of them, because we don't do a fiscal analysis. We'll ask them what their income is, if we can get an income threat to see where their income is, as well as, what are including them to receive the meals, or why are they receiving the meals.
Well, I just like to see us take a better look at this, that's all, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that deserve it. Yes, I agree with that. I totally understand that. I also know that you're gonna have a little old lady that's sitting on 150 acres and the barns are falling down, but she's sitting on $600,000 worth of property. It's,
Just to add to that a little bit, I have an aunt, that's, I agree with what you're saying. I have an aunt that refuses to get help. She would rather, she'll go to these folks before she even calls her relatives to help her go to the grocery store. They just want to age in place, and they don't want to leave their homes. They, where there is assisted living or other places they can go, they just at this point, and even though they should, they don't want to. They're pretty stubborn. Yes.
I know, I understand they don't want to. I'm looking at it from, I'm a dollars cents guy.
Oh, I know. I'm just letting you
And I'm
know
just
that
saying, I think there's
that's what's
people
driving it too, though, is some of
I'm
the,
not saying misusing it, but we're allowing it to happen.
well, yeah.
We have the federal guidelines, so we follow them. I mean, we certainly will take a look to see where the numbers fall with what is the justification for receiving meals, so we have a little more information. I can share that with you. But as long as they're telling us what we need to hear for them to have it, we don't tell them what they have to tell us. As long as they're stating and they meet the criteria, then well, we're providing the meals right now when we have the funding, but that would be something that we would maybe have to look at.
I think it'd be wise, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're not doing it. You guys do a great job, I understand that. But I think we gotta look at this.
I hear
because
what you're saying, because it's an explosion, and it's, where does it stop?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It stops with us.
yeah.
Okay, anything else? Okay, Lee,
okay.
looks like you're up.
Okay, so we've got our stats. I'd like to review our updates for the department. So one of the things that recently came up was these required trainings that we have to do for Safe and Together. They've been being hosted year-round. And we have some more deliveries of this training requirement coming up in July and November. We also have some seats slated through Onondaga or Cayuga County that if we needed to get people into, we could get them into this required training. Did some more meet and greets, met with Rachel Hendricks, who is the founder of Haven of Hope. It is a new program to provide a drop-in type service for homeless population. So it's a little bit different than some of the other homeless services. She's more focused on people being able to drop in, do laundry, take a shower, get some needed assistance, but not having it be structured. So it's a little bit of a different mindset in the kind of supports that would be available to the homeless population. We did
Actually, a question.
yeah,
Where's
sure.
that located?
Right now, it's located within Victory Transformation.
Is a warming center right there at Victory?
No, the actual main drop-in center, but that's up come September, so they're looking for a new location right now.
I call it the old Pontiac
It's a
Hotel.
Pontiac building,
The
downstairs,
Pontiac-
the Pontiac building.
Yeah.
Where the hell's that?
Pontiac Hotel in the city of Oswego.
Next
Oh, it's in the
to
city?
YMCA. Yeah,
Corner from City Hall,
yeah.
basically.
The old one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's in the process of looking for her own location right now. So right now, Dawn Whitaker, the person who runs the Victory Transformation, is allowing her to run that program out of there. Right now, she's running her operation through volunteers and I think 2 OCO paid staff at OCO.
Yeah, I think that was Mary
provides
Kirk's here now.
Yeah. We did a meet and greet with Tiffany's team for chronic Medicaid. Again, looking to improve the communication. A while back, we did have some concerns from legislature about some of the folks in the nursing homes with regards to their bills getting paid through the Department of Social Services. And so we are looking at improving that communication with the different nursing homes that we have in the area that people are residing in. We did sunset the Liberty Resources MST contract. That was about $300,000. And also the Food Bank of CNY, which was approximately about $40,000. So we do have some potential firm interest from an attorney. So we are looking at having talks with them about their firm providing us an attorney 3 days a week. We also did interview last Friday a candidate, so hopeful that there's some interest from this gentleman to come work for us. I did do a meet and greet with Benedetto and Nelson with our new supervising attorney, Laura Mann, so she's hit the ground running. We seem pretty happy with what she's doing and her approach. So we are still working on our performance evaluations in Munis, hoping that, Tiffany, do you remember the launch date? Is that pushed out now to September?
No, about, I said 10-1,
10-1? Oh,
because he's out.
okay. Okay, so 10-1. So I do have a new administrative assistant, Katie Allen, right back here. So happy to have her on board. She started when? 21st. The 21st of the month. So, yeah, I'm like, phew, thank goodness. So glad to have her on board. I did submit, Bill, the impact risk assessment for DSS with regards to the, I'm calling it the BBB, the Big Beautiful Bill. So I did provide him that assessment on where we may stand in the event of funding cuts there. I did attend the caucus, first time, survived, didn't have any bruises or cuts or scrapes, so that was pretty good. And I did get some coaching from my friend Julie over there. So, some of the information that people wanted to know was about Eva. So I wanted to be able to provide some information. She is now, taking about 30% of all incoming calls are handled by Eva. To date, that is 13,300 calls that she's managed, and that's about 3,325 hours in 15-minute increments. These are the metrics that are generated by TIPCO, the company that manages Eva, and so I just wanted to kind of give you guys a rundown of the kinds of
What was the
functionality.
number? It was 13.
13,300 calls for rights and responsibilities, and that equates to 3,325 hours at a 15-minute increment. So it can take 12 to 15 minutes to manage the call. And while she reviews the rights and responsibilities over the phone with people, but it also takes other calls that it can route to other resources if need be. She is a 24/7, 365-day multilingual service that has capable of functionality. She achieves 90% accuracy using public available data. She does generate transcripts and analytics. She captures verbal signatures as well. So for the rights and responsibilities, I'm looking at Tiffany because she nods and lets me know, yes, Blaine, you're doing good. Verbal signatures. Also supports policy training and for staff to search regulations that get guidance. So staff can ask Eva questions and she has a database that manages booting out the answer really quickly versus them having to go back to a book and go through pages or get online to get certain information.
Are they part of the 13,000 calls?
No, that is not part of
That's
the
just
13,000 calls. It's like a, oh,
Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
So, what else can I mention? Okay. So part of where we want to be able to go, so we also talked about what we want to develop with Eva. So right now, there's certain information that we can't upload into the system that we're at the state level now kind of negotiating because of FCC rulings regarding phone numbers, case numbers. At the state level, we're kind of negotiating to be able to move that forward so that we could get that information into the system, which means that we could automate, and what they're proposing is that we could automate redetermination, reminders, appointment reminders, case status updates, support status inquiries. So if somebody called and wanted to know where their case was at, they would be able to do that through Eva. So I think that in other divisions as well, there may be some capabilities with regards to the training and looking up regulatory resources within Sarah's division and potentially other divisions that, again, with the types of man hours that we're putting into doing this, she makes this a much smoother, faster way to access the information when you need it. So I did want to be able to provide that update with regards to Eva. There were some other questions at caucus that I started delving into, but I don't have the information. I did ask people to send me an email with those questions, but haven't received them yet. But I did take a couple of notes, so I do plan on getting that information out. I'm currently trying to work on a contract with the VRC ProShed to manage paper disposal at DSS because of the earth closure. And lastly, I just wanted to throw out there the START program. Within the annual budget, we had highlighted the START program with a success story within the report that talked about the success of this program. And we recently met with the START team to talk about the potential of a certification for that program and for them to come in and do an audit. And I think these are both wonderful opportunities for us to be able to identify with a certification the quality of the kind of service that we're providing for people who are getting the service, understand that there's value in having this service. So there'll be more information on that, and likely we may need to amend our contract coming up to allow for us to be able to get the, it's the certification or it's the certification that will cost additional money.
Yep.
And I think it will be worth it because of the value of the program. Some of the things that they're looking at statewide too and in other states is this program, the eligibility is for a person with a substance use disorder that has a child between the age of 0 and 5. And so I believe it was Ohio that requested to expand that service to kids up to the age of 18. And so although right now, we're probably not ready for that kind of an expansion, but the idea of that is very interesting to us because of the program's success that we've had so far. And in light of the fact that we have increasing numbers of people with substance use disorders. So when they have children, it's even a higher risk. So a program like this will go a long way in mitigating some of that or reducing and helping families out of that crisis. Did you two want to add anything to that?
Well, my hope is that we'll be able to draw down federal funds for this, which is 50% off the top and then another 60%. So I think the certification would be well worth it. And we continue to work towards fidelity. So
we're coming in August, we're going to have a site visit and we're going to do a fidelity check then. So it'll give us a good understanding of where we are to move forward with the formal certification.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone?
Does the report that TIPCO gives you, does it tell you how many or what percentage of that 13,000 the AI was fully able to resolve the caller's inquiry and did not have to go to a person? Was there, or do you think TIPCO could provide that?
We did. We asked them. They're actually building that into it.
Oh, okay, great.
So yeah, we asked for a deeper breakdown.
Yeah, the one that they provide us now provides the information I just kind of provided to you. So, but they're always evolving. It's, with artificial intelligence, it's the evolution, just like we're at iPhone, what are we, 16 now? Wow. I remember having a flip phone. So I think in this way, EVA is evolving very quickly too, and as fast as, we're not through getting set up and we're already on EVA 2. So I think that's just the course of how AI works. So it's always evolving, and it's great to get the granular details, right? Because it tells us a lot about what its capability is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anything else from anyone? All right, now I need to go into executive session. And so we need to make a motion.
Yeah, I need a motion to go into executive session to discuss the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, suspension, dismissal, or removal of particular persons or corporation.
Second. Okay, thank you, folks. We'll let you know when we're available to come back in if you're still here. We need